Özgür Dengiz is a Turkish serial killer and cannibal. By the time he was arrested in Ankara on September 14, 2007, he had killed 3 people, attempted to kill another, and confessed to eating one of his victims. Before we dive into Dengiz's actions, let's start with what his childhood was like. Özgür Dengiz was born in 1980 in Edirne. His father was a soldier and his mother was a seamstress. The family later moved to Ankara, which would become the scene of Dengiz's crimes. He had a troubled childhood, skipping school frequently, wandering the streets, and, according to his father, using illicit substances. At age 17, he met a girl and started a relationship with her. Later, he became close friends with her brother, who was a non-commissioned officer in the army. Dengiz somehow managed to steal the brother's pistol. One day, Dengiz went drinking in a wooded area where he met someone. They began talking and drinking together. It was there that he would commit his first murder. During the conversation, Dengiz suddenly became angry, started an argument, then pulled out the gun and shot the man dead. When he returned home, his strange behavior caught his father's attention. His father persuaded him to talk, and Dengiz confessed everything. Being a strict soldier, his father did the right thing. He turned his son in to the authorities. In 1997, Dengiz appeared in court and was found guilty. Because he was 17 and underage at the time, his sentence was reduced. Normally, he would have served 10 years in prison, but due to a general amnesty in 2000, he was released back onto the streets. That moment would pave the way for his future crimes. Because once forgiven, he believed he would always be forgiven. Under pressure from his father, Dengiz went to fulfill his compulsory military service, but even there he couldn't stay still. He constantly experienced psychological problems and tried to escape. After each attempt, he became even more aggressive. His family decided he needed psychological help, as he would never be able to complete his service otherwise. In 2005, he was discharged from the military due to a severe diagnosis of antisocial personality disorder. For a while, he remained quiet and received psychological treatment, but he couldn't hold a job. His mother, Sultan Dengiz, who was a tailor, decided to work with him so she could keep an eye on him and stay informed of his behavior. But Özgür barely showed up at the shop and was obsessed with getting his dream computer. On June 5, 2007, he took some money and went to the office of Sedat Erzurumlu, a computer engineer. After chatting with the owner for a while, he asked about computer prices. When he learned they were higher than he expected, an argument broke out. Dengiz pulled out the gun he had brought and shot Erzurumlu dead. He stole 2 computers, the man's wallet, his mobile phone, and a hard drive, then fled the scene. He was scammed while trying to sell one of the computers. The other one he hid at home. The stolen phone from Erzurumlu would play a major role in his eventual capture. But before that happened, he would commit 2 more murders. On September 12, 2007, while wandering around the Mamak landfill, Dengiz encountered a waste picker. He began arguing with the man, accusing him of invading his scavenging area. Although passers-by were disturbed by the scene, no one intervened. Realizing that no one was around, Dengiz pulled out his gun and shot the man dead, then left the area. Just a few hours later, and still fresh from his second murder, he encountered Kafir Er, a 55-year-old park maintenance worker sitting in the park. After chatting with Er for a while, Dengiz went behind him and shot him in the head. This would be the moment when his cannibalistic urges turned into action. After the murder, he dragged Er's body into the trunk of his car. He drove to a secluded wooded area, pulled out an axe and skinned the corpse. He could no longer resist his cannibalistic urges. He tore off a piece of flesh and ate it raw. Then he cut off another piece, placed it in his bag, and took it with him. He wrapped the body in a cloth and placed it back into the trunk. Later, he dumped the remains in the Mamak landfill. Suffering from psychological issues and having no friends, stray dogs became Dengiz's closest companions. When he returned home, he fed some of the flesh he had taken from Er to the dogs. He believed he owed them a debt of loyalty. The rest of the meat he placed in the refrigerator. Kafir Er had been missing for days. During the search operations, his body was discovered at the Mamuk landfill. Crime scene investigators determined that the victim had been shot in the head, his body had been dismembered, and large chunks of flesh had been cut from the soft tissues. The case caused a public outcry and terrified local residents. Investigations revealed that Er had recently argued with a young man at the park he was responsible for maintaining. Meanwhile, the police tracked the call records from the phone stolen from Erzurumlu, Dengiz's second victim, and quickly traced them back to him. That mistake would be his undoing. Police went to Dengiz's home and began searching the premises. They found the stolen computer and Erzurumlu's wallet. Then, in the refrigerator, they discovered a plastic bag containing fresh meat. Samples were taken from what was identified as a human arm, thigh, and hip. Forensic analysis confirmed that the body parts belonged to Kafir Er. Ankara now had a cannibalistic serial killer. During police interrogation, Dengiz confessed to everything. Officers reported that he showed no remorse, detailing every act with disturbing precision, and at times, even laughing. One statement in particular shocked everyone. "I used a cleaver to cut some meat. Then I felt nauseous. To suppress it, I ate part of the meat raw. I put the rest in my bag. I realized I liked the taste. I wrapped the body in a black cloth, put it in the trunk, and drove around the city a bit. Then I dumped the body at the landfill and went home. I fed some of the meat to stray dogs. The rest I stored in the fridge." Dengiz was brought before the court and was sentenced to prison. Due to his complete lack of remorse, he received no sentence reduction. According to sources, he was later transferred from prison to a psychiatric facility at the Mental Health and Neurological Disorders Hospital due to being deemed mentally unfit. Since then, no new information has surfaced about Dengiz. We'd like to believe he is still behind four walls, and this is where we end the video.